Welcome you in our workshop, which is organized by Botany for You. I am Shivdas Ahir from Department of Botany, MSP Art Science and KPT Commerce College, Manura. So today we will see about the nitrogen metabolism. It is very important topic for CSIR NET examination as well as ICR NET examination and also for the SET examination. We will look about the nitrogen metabolism. These are my contents. For nitrogen metabolism, we will see about the nitrogen cycle, then nitrogen fixation, then the procedure of nitrification, assimilation, that is nitrogen assimilation, ammonification, and denitrification. Now we have known that there is a large amount of nitrogen present in our atmosphere. Generally, it is about 78 to 80% of nitrogen is present in our atmosphere. It is free in form. Then other gases are present near about 1% and 21% approximately the oxygen percentages in our atmosphere. Though there is the amount of nitrogen in our atmosphere is very high, but we cannot utilize or organisms, that is plants, cannot directly absorb this nitrogen from that atmosphere. So first of all it is needs to be a fixation, so they should be converts into the usable form. Now we will see about the importance of nitrogen. Generally those nitrogen which is free in air, it is unutilized, or again there is the bound forms of nitrogen, that is nitride, nitrate and ammonia, which can be used or can be absorbed by the plants for the purpose of assimilation and to make their use for the making of the systems. So there are different use of nitrogen or the importance of nitrogen, like it is used, these are the very essential nutrients. Again, all living things need nitrogen for amino acid, proteins and nucleic acid. These are the basic molecules or the biomolecules. These biomolecules are very important for the construction of any organism. Then the concentration of nitrogen, it should be a that is the indicator for water quality also. So for every plants they needs a nitrogen to grow. Then about the nitrogen cycle, we have known that nitrogen, it is abundantly present in the atmosphere. Then but that nitrogen, it is unutilized form, it is in a unutilized form, that is free in atmosphere. But that nitrogen get fixed by some of the specific bacteria. They have a capacity to fix that atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogenous compounds like nitrate, ammonia, nitrites, etc. So in that nitrogen cycle we are looking here, that is the atmospheric nitrogen. That atmospheric nitrogen which is present here, first of all that atmospheric nitrogen uh, which will fix into the compounds, nitrogenous compounds, by the three ways. One is because of the lightening process. Again, other way is the biological nitrogen fixation, and another one is the industrial fixation. So these are the three ways where we can utilize, or we can the environment can fix the nitrogen by these three ways. So here nitrogen compounds comes in a rain by the lightning process, because the nitrogen molecule, that is N2 molecule, have a triple bond which cannot easily break. So for the breaking of that triple bond between nitrogen N2, there should be a very high amount of energy. That energy which is present in the lightning. Again, another one way, that is the biological nitrogen fixation, and another one is the industrial nitrogen fixation. So by these three ways nitrogen can be fixed into the nitrogenous compounds, and these nitrogenous compounds are usable. They can be used, they can be absorbed by the plants for the growth purpose. Again, by the procedure of fixation, that nitrogen get assimilated into the plant bodies. It is get assimilated into the plant bodies, and later on, after the date, after the plants, the nitrogen is passes to the that food web. That is, some herbivores will be eat to that plant. Through the herbivores, it will passes towards the carnivorous animals, and later on, after the death, after the death of all, plant death, carnivorous death, herbivores death, it will goes to the soil. That is the dead organic matter. So that is a complete nitrogen cycle. In intermediate of them, these compounds of nitrogen like अमोनियम, डेड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर के बाद में मिनरलाइजेशन होगा उसका, दैट इज नोन एज द अमोनिफिकेशन. लेटर ऑन they get converted into ammonium ions first of all. After that, these ammonium ions will be converted into the nitrite, and after that this nitrite get converted into the nitrate, and that nitrate, it is again usable by the plants. Okay. Again, there are some of the denitrifers. The denitrifers are some of the fungi or some of the bacteria. These denitrifers again recycle these nitrogenous compounds to the atmosphere. That is, they convert the nitrogenous compounds like nitrate into the atmospheric nitrogen, that is N2. That is the denitrification. We will see it in a detail. Then biological nitrogen fixation, it is very important. Most of the nitrogen fixation on our planet, it is done by the biological way. So in the diagram you are looking that there are some of the root nodules, and these root nodules are of present only in a leguminous plants. There are many leguminous plants, generally soybean, again mung bean, and many of the leguminous plants which shows the root nodules which are present on their roots. So in that root nodules, actually the bacteria Rhizobium japonicum and some of the species of Rhizobia, they have the capacity to fix atmospheric nitrogen into the nitrogenous compounds. So by the symbiotic method, in biological nitrogen fixation, there are generally two ways: either a free nitrogen fixation by some of the uh, bacteria, and another one is the symbiotic nitrogen fixation. So we are looking here a symbiotic nitrogen fixation. In that symbiotic nitrogen fixation, here we are looking root nodules. That root nodules are formed by the symbiotic bacteria, that is Rhizobium japonicum and the root of the plants. So both these partners get benefited in that symbiotic association. The bacteria is getting a food material and shelter for his existence, and the plants getting a fixed nitrogen. So both of these are benefited. Then nitrogen uptake. The nitrogen is getting uptake through the roots. First of all, the root gets absorb this nitrogen in the form of nitrate or ammonia. After that, that is get converted into the different compounds, different needed compounds or constructing compounds or biomolecules. So these nitrate get converted. First of all, when there is no need to make a many amino acid or the biomolecules, they will be stored in a vacuole, or they will be get transported. If they are needed, they will be transported toward the chloroplast to make a different amino acids, or it may be transported to the plastid. Plastid are present in a root, while chloroplast in a leaves. So according to need, this nitrate NO3 ions will be transported, or ammonium ions will be transported from roots to the other parts of the plant to convert this nitrate into the definite compounds or the biological compounds like amino acid. From that amino acid they will be converted into the proteins. So nitrogen, it is to be uptaken by the plants through their root in the form of nitrate ammonium ions. In right side you are looking that the nodulated root that takes a free nitrogen N2, that takes the free nitrogen here. So that free nitrogen is get absorbed and they get in symbiosome, they forms a symbiosome, and that is the root nodule. In that symbiosome, that atmospheric nitrogen is get converted into ammonium ion, and later on it get assimilated into the that is the glutamine, that is the amino acid, one of the amino acid. They get assimilated. After assimilation they get converted into urides, amides through the plastid, and later on they get sends to the formation of amino acids. Okay, that is the nitrogen uptake. Then the biological nitrogen fixation. In biological nitrogen fixation, those leguminous plants which secretes some of the chemicals, that is generally secondary metabolites, and these chemicals are secreted, first of all secreted by the plants to their rhizosphere. Rhizosphere means the area which is acquired by the roots. So in that rhizosphere this secretes a secondary metabolite. Generally these are flavonoids, isoflavonoids, and these secondary metabolites which are secreted by the plants, they are acts as a signal, for the bacteria, for the rhizobium bacteria especially. Because of that secondary metabolites or the chemicals secreted by plants, the rhizobium bacteria which receives that signal, and they comes in a contact with the root hairs, and they also sends some of the signals in the form of node factors. After the receiving node factors on receptor of the root hairs of the that leguminous plant, they receptor are ready to accept this bacteria. These receptors are ready to accept this bacteria. Then later on the rhizobium get in contact with the that root hair. So that is the interaction of both the plant and bacteria for the association purpose. Then after the contact they forms the infection thread. In first diagram at A we are looking that the rhizobia are comes in the contact with the newly originating root hair. In the B the there is the formation of curve because of the association of the rhizobium bacteria at the tip of the root hair. In the C diagram, they get enters through a very small amount of pores because the growth of the root hair is ongoing. Because of the growth of bacteria, sorry, growth of the that root hair, there is a very little few periods at the division where through that receptor they can enters into the root hair. So after the entry of this bacteria into the root hairs, they form one of the thread like, that is the thread like structure, that is colored thread like structure we are looking here in that complete root hair. So it is known as the infection thread because they have infected to the that plant root hairs. So they form the infection thread. Then it fuses with the cell membrane of another cell, and that infection thread uh, get again and again infect to another neighboring cells and spread overall into the that area and reaches to the cortex. Then we will found here the nodulation procedure. The chemical signal first of all attract bacteria and infection thread forms. Later on the bacteria forms, bacteroids form. There is the colonization of number of bacteria get divide and redivide and form the colonies. Then growth continues and root nodule form. बाद में यहाँ पे रूट नोडुल फॉर्मेशन होता है. Then the nodule develops vascular tissue. They develops the vascular tissue. Again, the mature nodule grows to be many times the diameter of the root, and they forms the that is the knot-like structure. That is the root nodule. So it reaches generally to the cortex. Again, the main, that is enzyme, which is important for the nitrogen fixation, that is the nitrogenase, and they having a very important compounds in them, that is the molybdenum and iron factor. Again, iron factor also. So there are the two main factors, that is molybdenum iron complex and iron complex. So they are important for the reduction purpose. So ferredoxin is also there. They reduce these nitrogen compounds from, here you are looking that N2 plus 8 hydrogen, they get converted into the nitrogenous compound, that is these are the products 2NH3 plus H2. So these molybdenum iron factor are complex which is responsible for the reduction purpose. They get reduce these N2 and 8 hydrogen ions to the products, that is 2NH3. So that is the very important enzyme which is required or which is very essential for the nitrogen fixation. That is the nitrogenous complex, where there is a formation of, where they found the iron protein and molybdenum iron protein, that is the two complex. One is the dinitrogenase and another one is the dinitrogenase reductase. So they have a very important role. Energy is also needed there. Okay. Nitrification. In the nitrification, that is the procedure where ammonia get converted into nitrite. Generally that ammonia which is present there in our soil or in our environment, which is get converted into first of all nitrite. It happens in a two step. Nitrification means conversion of ammonia into nitrate, because the most usable form of the nitrogen to the plant is nitrate, NO3. So there is a need of conversion. Then that ammonia, which maybe comes from the dead material of the plants or animal, that is get converted into, first of all converted into nitrite, and then nitrosomonas bacteria generally they converts nitrite into the nitrosomonas converts ammonia into nitrite, and nitrite get converted into the nitrate by the nitrobacter. So that is the procedure to convert ammonium ions or ammonia into the nitrate, because most usable source of nitrogen for the plant is nitrate, so it should be converted into nitrate. Then nitrogen assimilation, that is incorporation of ammonia or nitrate in biological tissues. So how the plants get assimilate, how they get absorbed and assimilate into nitrogenous compounds or biological tissues. Then plants require nitrogen in the form of dissolved nitrates. I told you in a before slide, that is they requires a nitrate form to absorb, because it is a most dissolvable that is compounds. Once the process of nitrogen fixation and nitrification have been carried out, plants are able to absorb nitrate by active transport. Then absorbed nitrates are used to synthesize amino acid and nucleic acid. So we have known that for the construction of nucleic acid, DNA, RNA, there is a need of nitrogen, because it is the main components, that is the nitrogen basis in nucleic acid and in amino acids are also. The uptake and incorporation of nitrogen into plant tissue is called assimilation. This nitrogen is now available to rest of the food chain through the feeding. It is depends on one to or another organism in a food chain. So the nitrogen assimilation, the two enzymes generally very important, that is the glutamine synthase and glutamate synthetase. Generally these two enzymes they get converts the nitrogenous compounds from one compound to another compounds. Again in nitrogen assimilation, here we found the nitrate, it is taken or absorbed by the plant, first of all get converted into ammonium ions, and they can be assimilated into different compounds like glutamine and glutamate. So in glutamine there is the there can be transfer, they can transfer the assimilated nitrogen to the another amino acid. So in amino acid synthesis they circulate the extra nitrogen which is assimilated from the that organic matter or which is absorbed by the root. So here we are found the procedure of assimilation happens in a plastid and cytoplasm. Later on through the phloem sap they get transported or they get translocated. Okay, so nitrogen assimilation requires a very important enzyme, that is glutamine synthetase and glutamate synthetase. Again there is the role of asparagine synthetase also, which converts the aspartate into asparagine or glutamine into asparagine. So that is the assimilation. In ammonification, that is organic nitrogen compounds can be converted into ammonia. Now we have known that there is a very large amount of dead material present in our earth. Generally it may be a plant's dead material or animal dead material, waste material. That organic material or organic nitrogen should be converted into the ammonia. That is procedure known as the ammonification. It is the process of transformation of amines or amino acid to ammonia by microbial enzymes. So generally there are many decomposers, microorganisms like fungi, bacteria. They convert this amino acid into ammonia by their microbial enzymes. These amino acid and amine are converted enzymatically. So generally there are many bacteria like Clostridium species, Micrococcus species. They convert that nitrate into nitrite first of all. Then by the enzyme nitrite reductase they get converted into ammonia. That procedure known as the ammonification. That ammonification is also needed to circulate these supplements or to circulate these nutrients from the soil. So the amino acid or amines cannot be directly absorbed by the plants, so they should be converted again into ammonia, where after that ammonia should be converted into nitrite and which can be absorbed by the plant because nitrate is a dissolved form. So before that they should be converted. So directly amino acid cannot be taken by the plant, so it should be converted into ammonia. That is the procedure known as the ammonification. It is only carried out by the Clostridium species, Micrococcus species and some fungi also. The decomposers play a very important role in ammonification. Then the next procedure is the denitrification. In denitrification, the procedure that converts nitrate to nitrogen gas. In nitrogen fixation, we have seen that the nitrogen or the atmospheric nitrogen was getting converted into nitrate or ammonium ions. So opposite of them, the procedure is the denitrification. Opposite of the biological nitrogen fixation or opposite of the nitrogen fixation, the procedure is denitrification, where nitrates or nitrogenous compounds get converted into the free nitrogen in the air in the form of gas. So there are some of the bacteria which includes the bacillus, paracoccus and pseudomonas. So this bacteria plays a very important role in denitrification procedure. In that they remove fixed nitrogen from the ecosystem, so that nitrate NO3 get converted into nitrite and later on they get split into nitrous oxide and later on get converted into the free nitrogen molecule in air, which is get again free in our air or in our atmosphere. So they also needs energy, that is the ATP synthase, which converts that ADP into ATP. So because of that these bacteria get energy and later on they converts the nitrate into nitrite. So the enzymes are responsible for their to convert nitrate into nitrite, that is nitrate reductase, and nitrite to nitrite to the nitrogen oxide, that is nitrite reductase. The enzyme is there nitrous oxide reductase, which converts nitrous oxide into N2O and free later on into the free nitrogen. So for the examination they may ask about the enzymes. Again they may give you a diagram and skip one of the content from them, and they may ask you for the missing content. So that is the complete nitrogen metabolism procedure. In that nitrogen metabolism, we have first of all seen that is the biological nitrogen fixation, generally symbiotic way by the rhizobium bacteria. Later on, they after the nitrogen fixation, the procedure of nitrification, ammonification, then the denitrification. So after that, that nitrogen is get again recycled to the environment, recycled to the atmosphere. So that is the complete procedure of nitrogen metabolism. They get absorbed by the roots, they get fixed by the biological agents like pre, that is pre or symbiotic bacteria. Later on, after fixation, they get absorbed by the plant root in the nitrate form. Many times asked in examination, which is the most absorbed form of nitrogen, that is the nitrate. So many times that question is also asked for the set examination. Again, in uh, in the compounds, or sorry, in the complex, nitrogenous complex, that is the enzymes complex, that is dinitrogenous and dinitrogenous reductase. Sometimes for the set examination, the question is also asked about the which elements are present in the nitrogenous complex, that is the molybdenum and iron. So the question was also asked about the molybdenum and iron. So that is the nitrogenous enzyme. It is very important topic for the CSIR NET examination as well as the SET examination and ICR NET examination. These are some of the references you should refer it. That is a plant biochemistry by the Buchanan. It is very important book and nice, given by them. The plant physiology by Tej and Zeiger. For the plant physiology preparation, you should refer that book, Plant Physiology by Tej and Zeiger. Again, so thank you very much. So all the best for your CSIR examination.